What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Just before we get into the video, don't forget to like or dislike the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment down below. Join us now as WrestleMania tracks down 10 WWE wrestlers released in 2009, revealing where they are now. Number 1. The Boogeyman. Martin Wright, aka the Boogeyman, appeared in the 4th season of Tough Enough and was amongst the 8 finalists. However, after revealing he was in fact 40 years old, 5 years over the competition's cutting point and not 30 as he claimed, he was cut from the competition. However, even though he had been cut, WWE still had interest in him and invited him to their developmental territory, OVW. It was here Wright developed the character of the Boogeyman, squashing and no-selling opponents. In July of 2005, a number of horror-style vignettes aired, cleverly hyping the Boogeyman's WWE debut. The Boogeyman made tremendous impact in the WWE, and in his debut match, his first victim Simon Dean was terrified to be in the ring with him. Though he would never be known for his technical ring bouts, his unorthodox look and creepy entrance unsettled many. Worms would also be a big part of the Boogeyman's terrifying appearance, and they would normally settle in between Wright's missing teeth. In fact, Wright wanted to use more insects, including roaches, crickets, maggots, and many more. In an interview with Bleacher Report, Wright explained the WWE would be required to pay an infestation clause, which would have cost more money. Worms were the only thing that they could control. However, the mystique of his gimmick wore off when they introduced a little person as his sidekick, Little Boogeyman. He would later appear in ECW, and the gimmick started to get stale. But not only that, Wright would also appear in non-wrestling roles with the Jackass crew. It was at this time Wright's age also started to catch up with him. Now in his mid-40s, he was unable to compete due to a torn calf muscle, and though he enjoyed a brief return, Wright was released in March of 2009. He would go on to wrestle on the independent circuit, using the same gimmick but now under a trademark-friendly name, Slither. He would thereafter make sporadic appearances in WWE, returning as the Boogeyman. He would also be a surprise entrant at the 2015 Royal Rumble, appearing as entrant number 7 but quickly eliminated. In the same year, he would sign a Legends deal with the WWE. Wright surprisingly now works as an aerobics instructor in Denver, Colorado. Number 2. Candice Michelle. Despite not being chosen for the final 10 of the 2004 Diva Search, the longtime model was still hired by the WWE under the gimmick of a makeup artist and competed in several Diva contests. The brunette beauty would soon enough transition into wrestling, eventually winning the Women's Championship at the Vengeance pay-per-view in 2007, defeating Melina and becoming the first Diva Search contestant to ever become Women's Champion. Michelle was also one of the few WWE divas who had the opportunity to pose for Playboy magazine and would be featured in the April 2006 issue. However, a number of injuries plagued her wrestling career, and though she was drafted to SmackDown in April of 2009, she never reappeared, leading to her release in June. She instead took a break from wrestling and focused on her family life, marrying and raising 3 children. After a long hiatus, Michelle wrestled her final match in December 2017, wrestling Victoria at House of Horrors 36 and even defeating her. Number 3. DLo Brown. Wrestler AC Connor's WWF career began in 1994 when he worked as enhancement talent under the name AC Connor before heading to Jim Cornette's Smoky Mountain Wrestling territory. In 1996, he returned to the WWF, this time as DLo Brown, a member of the heel faction the Nation of Domination. He continued working in the WWE until 2003 and soon moved to TNA, where he competed for the NWA World Tag Team and World Heavyweight Championships. His team with Gran Apollo led to a brief run as tag team champions, and Brown stayed in TNA until the summer of 2004. Afterwards, he hit the independent circuit and traveled the world, wrestling in Japan and the United Kingdom. In 2008, the WWE brought DLo back, but he'd stayed there less than a year as WWE cut him loose as part of cost-cutting measures. Brown found himself signing with TNA again as their lead agent, and in 2013 revealed himself as Vice President of Aces and Eights. After his stint in TNA, Brown moved to All Japan Pro Wrestling, but he now resides in Las Vegas, Nevada, where he is a trainer for future stars of wrestling and Fantasy Slam. Number 4. Hardcore Holly. Entering the WWF as NASCAR driver Thurman Sparky lucky plug in January of 1994, Holly achieved moderate success as WWF Tag Team Champion with the 1-2-3 Kid. He later went under the name of Hardcore Holly after winning the Hardcore Championship, and later teamed with kayfabe cousin Crash Holly. Holly would be best known for his controversial appearance on the third series of Tough Enough, where he stiffed competitor and trainee Matt Cappotelli. He also had a brief push, chasing the WWE Championship, facing Brock Lesnar at the 2004 Royal Rumble. It seemed that WWE wanted to propel Holly once more and inserted him into ECW's pay-per-view December to Dismember Elimination Chamber match for the ECW Championship. Holly soon, however, faded into the background and left the WWE in January of 2009 after a 15-year tenure with the company. Even after his long run with the WWE, Holly carried on wrestling and made appearances in various promotions in Europe, including making a one-off appearance in TNA. Still in phenomenal shape for 50 years of age, Holly was seen wrestling in CCW. Number 5. Kizarny. In 2008, a number of vignettes were aired on SmackDown, hyping the debut of Kizarny, where he would speak in Carney Talk. These promos would last 3 months before he would finally make his in-ring debut in January of 2009, and Kizarny would become a top heel in the promotion. However, Kizarny would only but wrestle in a handful of matches, making little impact, and despite having the support of longtime friends Edge and Christian backstage, Kizarny was released 3 months later after failing to turn up to a match. However, WWE's loss would be Chikara's gain. He would also be the brainchild of Freak Show Wrestling, a promotion combining violent wrestling with comedy and odd stipulation matches. In 2010, he married Stacey Carter, the ex-wife of Jerry Lawler, but they divorced in 2013. Since July 2012, Kizarny has also been a tattoo artist at Las Vegas Tattoo Company in Tampa, Florida. Number 6. Mannu. Part of the famous Anoa'i family and son of Afa Anoa'i, he had his first stint in the WWE's developmental territory Deep South Wrestling, wrestling under his father's name Afa and Afa Jr. Afa Jr. would debut in the WWE in 2007, but he would be suspended for 30 days for violating WWE's wellness policy. He would return as Mannu, allying himself with Rhodes and Orton as the Legacy, but he was eventually kicked out of the trio and released in February of 2009. It is believed that Orton pushed for Mannu's release, feeling he did not sit well within the group and wasn't in the same league as both Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase Jr. He also reportedly had a bad attitude backstage. Afa Jr. would return to the independent circuit, wrestling for World Extreme Wrestling, teaming with brother Samu as the Sons of Samoa and wrestling in singles action, gaining a number of championships. Number 7. Taz. Taz enjoyed huge success in ECW, becoming one of its top stars throughout the mid to late 90s. However, his move to the WWE was seen as a flop. With many top talent not wanting to lose to a smaller man, he became jobber to the stars. He still managed to capture both the Hardcore and Tag Team Championship. A number of injuries soon halted his wrestling career, and instead he made the transition into color commentary, becoming the voice of SmackDown and ECW until 2009, where he finally departed the WWE. Taz worked in TNA from 2009 to 2015, initially as an advisor, but soon as a color commentator. Since his departure, Taz hosts his wrestling podcast, The Taz Show. In 2016, he made a one-off WWE appearance on the WWE Network special, The Authentic Untold Story of ECW. Number 8. Val Venus. While the idea of a wrestler's gimmick being that of a porn star may seem crazy, it was par for the course during the Attitude Era. Wrestler Sean Morley debuted in 1998 and amused fans with his innuendo-laden promos and on-screen antics of seducing the women around him. Morley certainly deserves a lot of credit for taking a gimmick that could have failed to launch and shot it to new heights. Even when he had to tone things down, he excelled as the straight-laced member of Right to Censor, thanks to good ring work and charisma. In 2009, the WWE and Venus parted ways, but he soon found work on the independent circuit and had a brief run in TNA. The Big Valboski is now legally selling weed from his Health for Life dispensaries in Arizona, calling himself Captain Cannabis with 2 Ks. Number 9. Victoria. Lisa Marie Veron's career path led from studying biomed at UCLA with the goal of becoming a doctor to winning ESPN's 1997 Fitness America Series Championship to wrestler. Victoria paid her dues on her way into the ring. In a 2006 interview, she recalled, "I went went through 3 years of developmental training camp before I got brought up. In the developmental camp, I was trained by Eugene, Rob Conway, and Randy Orton. I was in a great class at that time, so I learned from the best. Her training paid off as Victoria became one of the WWE's most talented women, winning the WWE Women's Championship twice before leaving for TNA in 2009. There she wrestled as Tara, winning the TNA Knockouts Championship 5 times and the Knockouts Tag Team Championship once. After her July 2011 release from TNA, she worked in the independent scene, including Chikara. She debuted in Ring of Honor in 2013, but now Victoria has operated several businesses, including Fat Tony's Pizza, a custom car shop called Black Widow Customs, and a wrestling-themed restaurant, The Squared Circle. And number 10, Ron Simmons. In August of 1992, Ron Simmons made history by becoming the first African-American WCW World Heavyweight Champion by defeating Big Van Vader. After a 5-month reign, Simmons would be relegated to mid-card status, becoming a heel. He would sign with the WWF in 1996, becoming Farouk Assad, wearing a blue and black gladiator outfit with a misshaped helmet and managed by Sonny. Thankfully, the gimmick didn't last long, and Simmons formed the Nation of Domination. After the Nation disbanded, he formed a tag team with Bradshaw as the Acolytes, which was later renamed as the Acolytes Protection Agency. In 2006, Simmons would make only sporadic appearances in the WWE, wrestling on only a few occasions and engaging in a feud with Santino Marella. However, he would be best known for his catchphrase, "Damn!" After 13 years with the company, Simmons would be released in January of 2009 due to budget cuts. He would be inducted into the 2012 WWE Hall of Fame and make a few appearances on special shows such as Old School Raw and WrestleMania 31, celebrating Daniel Bryan's Intercontinental Championship win. Simmons is now fully retired and makes a number of appearances at wrestling conventions. Well guys, that was 10 wrestlers who were released in 2009 and what they're up to now. Be sure to leave your comments down below and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.